Hey guys, this lesson is on interpreting remainders in division word problems. Before we get started on the word problems, I want to give us a reminder of our letters that help us remember how to divide. D, M, S, B. Or divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. All right. So when we have remainders in a word problem, there are 3 different ways that we can use them. Sometimes we have to drop them and ignore the remainder and just use the whole number from our quotient as our answer. Sometimes we have to add it. Add one more whole group to our quotient. And sometimes we have to use it, which means that the remainder will be our answer. So each time we're going to have to use context clues and really think about what the question is asking us to do. Now, always remember that the total goes on the inside, or is the dividend, and the groups, the number of groups or the number of pieces in a group, go on the outside. We're going to do the total divided by the groups, or the part. So let's look at this first question. Susan is baking pies for a picnic. Each pie serves 8 people. There will be 35 people at the picnic. How many pies should Susan bake so that each person can have one piece? So each pie serves 8 people. And there will be 35 people at the picnic. So my total is 35 people. My part, or my group, is 8 people per pie. So we need to figure out how many pies or how many groups of 8 I can make out of 35. So I'm going to divide that total by the group. So I'm going to have 35 on the inside as the dividend and 8 on the outside as the divisor. Now when I divide, I start with that first number. I know that 8 can't go into 3, so I'll put a 0 there. And that was my D. Now I'm going to do the M, or multiply. 8 times 0 is 0. Now I can do the S, or subtract, and bring down the 5. Now I start that process over with the number 35. If you don't know the multiples of 8 off the top of your head, it's okay to list them. So 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32. 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8 is 48. 7 times 8 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 8 is 72. And 10 times 8 is 80. So I'm looking for the multiple that's close to 35 but not over it. So 32 is close to 35 but not over it. If I were to go up to 40, 40 is more than 35, so I know I'm not going to use that one. So then that's 4 groups of 8. So 4 groups of 8 can fit inside 34 or 35. When I multiply, I get 32. Subtract, I get 3. So my quotient is 4, remainder 3. Well, now we have to figure this out. Because I have a remainder, I have to figure out what to do with it. So I know I'm going to need 4 pies, or 4 pieces, or 4 groups of 8 people. But then I'm going to have 3 people left over. So let's look at this illustration. I have 35 people. I can break those 35 people into groups of 8, or 1 pie. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 complete groups of 8. So I know I'll need at least 4 pies. But then I have these people over here, these 3 extra people. And it wouldn't be fair to not include them. So I would have to bring an extra pie to feed those 3 people, even though we won't use the whole thing. So in this situation, I'm going to add it. So instead of 4 pies, I'm going to add 1 to my whole, and I'm going to need 5 pies for this picnic. This next problem says, Andy has 62 marbles. He would like to give an equal number of marbles to each of the 8 other boys in his scout troop. How many marbles will each boy get? So I know that the total number of marbles Andy has is 62. I know that he wants to give each of the 8 other boys an equal number. That equal number and each are cues that I'm going to divide. And the question is asking me, how many marbles will each boy get? So I know that my total is 62 marbles, and that my groups will be 8, because I want to take those 62 marbles and split them or divide them between the 8 other boys. So I'm going to divide 62 by 8. 8 doesn't go into 6, but it will go into 62 7 times, and 7 times 8 is 56. So my quotient would be 7 with a remainder of 6. In this situation, what do you think we're going to do with the remainder? So this 7 tells me that that's the number of marbles in each group. This 6 tells me the number of marbles left over. It's the remainder. I can't give those marbles out because I would need 8 marbles to give 1 to each of the other boys, and I want it to be fair. So those 6 marbles, we're just going to have to drop them and forget about them. So each of the 8 boys will get 7 marbles. The next problem says Katie has a bag of 44 candy kisses. She is planning to eat the same number of kisses each day for a week. What is the highest number of kisses she can eat each day? I want you to try this problem on your own, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so I know that there's a total of 44 candy kisses. She's going to eat the same number each day. So that tells me I'm going to divide. For a week tells me the number of groups. And the question is asking me, what is the highest number of kisses she can eat each day? So my total is 44 kisses. My groups will be 7 because there are 7 days in a week. So I'm going to break those 44 kisses into groups, into 7 equal groups. So that means I have to divide 44 by 7. So my quotient is 6, remainder 2. Well, this 6 tells me that I'll have this number of kisses each day. That's how many kisses I can make into 7 groups. This 2 tells me that there will be 2 kisses left over at the end of the week. So I'm again going to drop the remainder, and I know that she can eat 6 Hershey Kisses or Candy Kisses each day for the whole week. But she can't eat any more than that if she wants to eat the same number each day. This question says, Mitch has 11 cookies. He would like to share them with his best friend Cameron so that each of them will have the same amount. How many cookies will each boy get? I want you to try this one on your own, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so I know that my total is going to be 11 cookies. He's going to share them, and each of them will have the same amount, so I know I'm going to divide. And the question is, how many cookies will each boy get? So I know my total is 11, and I know I'm going to have to break it into 2 groups because Mitch is only sharing with his one other friend, Cameron. So I'm going to be dividing 11 by 2. So my quotient is 5 with a remainder of 1. And what that tells me is that each boy can have 5 cookies because there are 2 equal groups of 5. And that there's going to be 1 cookie left over that no one gets to eat. Because if Mitch ate it, he would have more than Cameron, and if Cameron ate it, he would have more than Mitch. And the question says each of them will have the same amount. So I can make 2 equal groups of 5. So they will each get 5 cookies, which means I dropped the remainder for this question as well. This last question says Farmer Jones has 86 chickens. He can put 9 chickens in 1 coop. How many coops will Farmer Jones need to house all of his chickens? Try this one on your own, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so reading the problem, I know that 86 chickens is going to be my total. I know that I'm going to break it into groups of 9 because he can put 9 chickens in 1 coop. And the question is asking me how many coops he will need. So my total is 86 chickens, and I want to break them into groups of 9 chickens. So I'm going to divide 86 by 9. Now sometimes 9s are hard to remember, so let's list the multiples. Okay, so I want a number that is less than 86 or close to 86, but less than, not more than. So I'm going to go with 9 groups of 9 because 9 doesn't go into 8. So I'm still working with the number 86. It will go into 86 9 times. So I'll have a quotient of 9 with a remainder of 5. So I know I can have 9 groups of 9 chickens, and I'll have 5 chickens left over. So do I need 9 coops, or will I need more than that? Let's look at a picture to figure it out. Okay, so here in this picture, we have our 9 groups of 9 chickens all in their little coops. A coop is just like a house for chickens. But down here, we have these 5 little chickens left over. Well, if you leave a chicken outside overnight, it might get eaten by a fox, and that would not be great. So we need another coop to put these chickens in. Now, We could fit 4 more in there, but we don't have 4 more. But we still need that extra coop, even though it's not going to be full. So for this problem, we needed to add because of our remainder. So really, Farmer Jones needs 10 coops to house all of his chickens. Because if he only had 9, which is the number we had in our original quotient, he wouldn't house all of his chickens. He would still have 5 chickens out in the cold and the danger. So he needs 10 coops to house all of his chickens.